Hello everybody, welcome. Welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome guys, welcome. It is about time we got started back on some Bloodborne, baby. How's everybody doing, guys? Real quick before we get started, let's get into my little shtick. My name is Frank Gallows, and I stream every day or as often as possible, folks. Usually on the weekdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time, that's when you can catch me. The schedule might be changing soon because I want to stream more often and get more people in. But right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to stop by my Twitch channel, watch me live. Link to my channel in the description of the video, guys. Like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Usually on the weekdays, folks. Mainly on the weekdays. That's when I'll be streaming. That's when you can catch me. We play a variety of games here. We're going to be focusing on Bloodborne for a little while. We're doing a Milquetoast Run, basically, so it's for newer people who haven't really seen the game too much yet. What a Milquetoast Run is for me, basically, is we run the Milquetoast Origin. We're going to run 50 Vite, and then we're going to go straight down the board, all 25s. As you can see, we're almost done with Art, Blood Tinge, and Arcane. Then we'll get the Vite up to 30, and then we'll round up the Endurance, even though the Endurance really, at the end of the day, doesn't matter too much if you guys play this a lot. Depending on the weapon you use, right, even then, Endurance isn't super important, in my opinion. Folks. More than likely what we're going to do first is get Vite to 30, Blood Tinge to 25, Arcane to 25, and then we'll work on Endurance a little bit, but we'll mostly be focusing on the Vite aspect. And then, you know, whatever we have left over, we can get into Endurance. Hopefully that ends around 120. And yeah, that is going to be the build. Once you get more people in, I want to talk about the next build we're going to make. For those of you that don't know, Bloodborne is my most favoriteest game of all time. It's my most favoriteest. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. And we have a couple options of things we can actually go into today. We're at a comfortable spot now. We could probably just go back into the Forbidden Woods and kind of take a more slower pace. I think that's probably what that's probably going to be what we're going to do. As far as the weapons go, we'll talk about that in just a second. As far as the runes go, we're using the Moon Rune, we're using the Air Rune for now, and we're using the Great Lakes Rune. Ideally, you do want some of the counterclockwise runes. We could run into another area and get them, but I don't want to just have this whole playthrough where we're just running here and there, just grabbing stuff, right? So I think we're going to do the Forbidden Woods. We'll take a slower pace, do that. And then we'll go backward. Right, we'll go over here into the lecture hall, and we'll venture out from the lecture hall, and we'll try to grab some of the anti-clockwise metamorphosis runes. And then while I'm playing, I'm going to be talking about a couple extra builds that I do want to make, probably at the end of this, or I might work on the side, you know, get them started. Right, I do think we should make a PvP build. I do think we should make two PvP builds, so I want to talk to you guys about what you'd be interested in seeing. You know, and then whichever one you guys pick, that'll be the one I focus on the next run. Right, and with that said, let me just have a sip of coffee. With that said, let's look at the weapons we're going to be using for the woods. So, as you guys can see, we got a bunch of stuff to +6. We're going to be using the Kirk Hammer. We could look at the gems. The gems aren't great, guys. Like you know, like I said, this is a fresh playthrough. So we have the blended physical attack of physical attack, and we got the Beast Cutter to +6 for when we need to back off of enemies, where we can go to range a little bit. Mostly physical attack up stuff. For our gun, I decided instead of the Evelyn to use a repeating pistol, just because it does extra damage. And we have the Flame Spray as a backup. We aren't really going to use it, to be honest with you guys. When we're two-handing our weapons, we're going to be using this Auger of Ebriatus, and the reason we use that is so that we can still have a chance to parry and do Viscerals. We're also using the Beast Roar as a backup just to get enemies off of us. And that is what we're going to be doing, guys. And now we can take a little bit of a slower pace, like I said. The only thing we need to do is get our Vite up to 30, which we're gonna check if we can do that right now.
Very well.
Okay. So we're level 80, right? Let's take a look at what will be at the end of all this, right? 90, if we spend 20 more points and get Vite up to 50, will be 100, right? And then each of these will be 25, right? So that'll be 110. And then an extra 10 to there, that'll be 120. That journey board build stops, so I guess we can get endurance up to 20. And that'll be about it. That'll be the stats bar. So it'll be 50, 20, everything else will be 25. And that is what we're going to do. This is just like a build to showcase stuff. We're not,
Farewell, good
you know, this is not for PvP or anything else like that, guys. So I hope you're not following this build. This is just to look at a lot of stuff. And with that said, let's go to the Forbidden Woods. Actually, we should check the Grand Cathedral real quick. Okay. I'm just making sure we're not messing up quest lines, right? And then we'll go right into Forbidden Woods. The fact that we could teleport here means that we're good to go. Unfortunately, it is going to take a minute to load. We are playing on PS4, guys. This is the only way this game is available. I mean, you can play it on PS5 as well. I'm not sure how the loading times are. I imagine they are better, right? They gotta be. I don't have a PS5 yet. Maybe someday in the future, hopefully. When we get the channel up there, and you know, we get like income coming in, you know, we can solve that problem. Right now, we play with what we got, and we're not gonna complain about it. We're just gonna keep grinding, folks. We're just gonna keep grinding. Alright, so I want to go to Forbidden Woods. Give me a minute to look around. There we go. And we'll take a sword. You know, like, if you've been playing the game a lot, if you've been playing it a long time, if you're into PvP and things like that, you already know. A lot of these Souls games, you basically just run and avoid a lot of enemies. We'll take our time. We won't be going out of our way just to kill every single enemy on the map, though. But, you know, we can take our time now. I feel pretty confident with the weapons we have. They're at an okay spot. Our HP is at an okay spot. We have some okay armor, right? We're okay. We're pretty good, right? Not great, but pretty good. And we didn't open the shortcut yet, so we're just going to have to go from here. Now, the reason I picked the Kirk hammer is because Ludwig's is, we already know Ludwig's is a good weapon. The Kirk hammer is okay. Not a lot of people use it through these playthroughs, I'm pretty sure, so we're going to use this. It's big, beefy boy, has good knockback, well, good stun, right? Enemies get stunned with the knockback. Right. And it's comparable to the Ludwig's. It's not quite as powerful, but almost as good. So we're going to be using that just for the sake of variety. And then, like I said, we have the Beast Cutter here, and the Beast Cutter is more for like if we need some distance. Right? They both have +6 right now. And we'll use we'll use this for a little bit, and then we'll switch up. Don't forget, guys, if you just started Forbidden Woods, this is a pressure plate. Move out the damn way before you get hit by this log. This log will kill you if you're just like starting out. Beware, beware, guys. And yeah, so we'll just take our time, just look around. As you can see, it stops a lot of enemies in the tracks when they're attacking. It's alright. Not bad. Could be worse, right? Use B-Sword to get people away from you. Unfortunately, you do have to hit the button to make that go away. Keep in mind, they do throw oil urns at you, which is why they're actually like going out of their way to poke me with the torch, so they can do extra damage. You'll know if you're a debuff because you'll have like a little thing underneath your health bar. I can't really describe the exact way the icon looks, mind you guys, right? So, we did already come this way, and we made a little shortcut, but we will come back up here just to kill this enemy. And I usually avoid this village, guys. Where is it? Uh-oh. Right, I usually avoid this place right here. Wait a minute, this isn't it, but we'll grab these items. Grab the twin blowstones, grab the molotovs, grab all that stuff. Okay, the village is this way, right? So I usually avoid this area over here. I go like the other route. Let's just take a little peek around very quickly. Wandering Madness. Crows! Okay. I'll be honest, I missed that almost every playthrough. Luckily, with the way I farm twin bloodstone shards, you know, I'm not really hard up for them a lot of the time. But there is a village over here. Now, like I said, I usually avoid this whole area because there's a trap like that right there. And I don't like falling into it. If we go a little further in, you see there's some guys looking around. I kind of took a shortcut. You can see they're not facing where they should be facing. They should be facing me. If you notice there's like a lot of wooden planks there, you can fall down there. That is a trap. Like all that part right there is a trap. Right, so we'll do our best to avoid it. If you're getting a lot of pressure put on you, you know, don't hesitate to back up. But also, you can use the beast roll if you're getting a lot of pressure put on you. Right, you do use the beast roll, don't forget that. Also, don't forget to use your auger if you're confident in if you're confident in like being able to parry them. Alright, I'm trying to avoid a lot of these little pitfalls because I'm pretty sure a lot of these are just straight up traps. We don't want to get caught in them. This is progression here. Right, so we'll take a little look around this village. I mean, we might as well fall into the traps because nothing bad is really going to happen to us. It's not like death or anything. And we can take a look at it. Why not? You see we fall there, there's a bunch of birds. On the plus side, there's an enemy down here. I guess we're capped out on pebbles. I didn't even realize that. And there's a little rickety ladder, so you can just make your way back up. The biggest threat is getting like surprised, and then the crows will go to town on you. So just you know, just be careful. Just don't panic. That's all. And you can see this is usually where you come in through. Excuse me, I'm trying to talk. So you usually come in through here, right? This is where everybody was like throwing all the bullshit at you. I forgot that was there. We made it, guys. So this was my fault. I gave you some bad info, right? This was a pressure trap. Either way, avoid it. Don't step on it like I did. Luckily, I realized the minute I stepped on it that it was a pressure trap. And you'll be fine, guys. You'll be okay. It's all gonna work out. Right, so that's where you come in through. That's where everybody throws the garbage at you, and you could take a look around. You know, if you don't mind killing everybody. Right. Let me take another sip of this coffee. So, guys, would also like to say that we are, depending on how much I go hard on this, we're kind of close to the end of the game. Kind of, a little bit. So I want to talk about the next build we're going to do, and I really do want to make a couple PvP builds, right? So, if you guys are interested, we could talk about the PvP builds and what I plan on doing, and then, based on what you guys want to see, we can work on those first, right? Okay, so the first build I want to make for PvP, I want to make two of them. The first one I want to do is called the Vite Gouge build, and if you guys don't know what a Vite Gouge build is, basically you go heavier in on the Vite. So basically we'll have like 75 Vite, maybe 80 Vite, and then the caveat with that is I'm gonna have to choose either between Vite Gouge Strength or Vite Gouge Arcane. I'll leave that decision up to you guys. Obviously, Arcane will be the more the magic-based, the Gatling gun and the cannon, maybe. So that is the first build I want to make, and I'll leave it up to you guys whether it be Arcane or Strain. That the Arcane one will be more elemental-based. The only negative that I'll have with the Arcane one is that my visceral attack won't be as strong, but that is not a big deal within itself. And I'll be using like slightly different weapons. Everything won't be all different, right? And also, guys, right now we're just kind of exploring. I don't really spend too much time in this little village. I think it's a lot of nothing here. That's true. Do you guys? Nothing really. So, like I said, that is the first build I want to work on, and I guess when we get closer to it, we can talk about it some more. And the second build I want to work on is, I think generally it's called Rider Shield, right, or Sword and Board. Basically, we'll be using the Rider Palash and the Rifle Spear, along with the Wooden Shield for PvP. And the negatives is that we'll be using the Rider Palash and the Rifle Spear. Right, the positives are the shield is actually deceptively good in PvP. You have high visceral attacks, and the weapons won't cost as much to farm. I'm sure you guys know at this point that bludgeon farming is where you get most of your damage from. So things that are cheaper than get finished a lot quicker. So that one will be finished a little bit quicker, I believe. But the downside is we'll be pigeonholed into just a couple weapons, and that'll be a problem when we're trying to level up through the game normally, I suppose. So that is the two builds we're going to work on as far as PvP is concerned, and as far as the next build of the game is, that's what's going to happen. Okay. Okay, we're all done here. So now that we explored this little bit of the village, we can go back around and take a look at some other stuff. Right, and we will end up roughly in the same spot we were at before, so it doesn't hurt to go around and take another detour. So the other way you can go, guys, is right around here. We did this last time, right? We came up to this path and we kind of took a little hook. And instead of going, back into Yosefka's clinic, you can actually progress here, but let's take a moment and kill these dogs real quick. Fight! Now that Patches is gone, I do think the NPC is here, the usual one.
Would you stop there? Everything you make brings us bad luck. I have it bad enough already. Please, old woman. See?
Oddly enough, even though Patches was there earlier, they didn't use his model. If you like look really closely, there is like an old beasted out woman there. I'm not even sure if it's a woman or not. It's just there's like a beast person in there. And once you deal with Patches, it goes back to normal. And if you remember, guys, last time we came Forbidden Woods, we took this path down here. There's like a big poison area. There's some Thumerian giants there. If you come up here, the white church garb is there. And right here, we'll switch up weapons just for fun, just because we've been using we'll shoot those dogs, guys. If you don't want to deal with them, like you see how I'm doing, he's giving me up issues, so just let him have it. This cabin right here, this is also where you get V-Store, so if you're like running and trying to get all the items, V-Store is right here in this cabin. Do keep in mind there's a bagman right here. And he still hits hard. I gotta get used to the regular gun again, but just keep that in mind. So, when you come over here and you just progress a little bit further, you can see we're over the village now. You can see the village right there. That's where we were just at. Don't forget we are using this beast cutter, so we walked into the DLC to grab it. Okay, this. I keep that in mind. And then there's that little. This was like a little lake here. The reason we came up here is because if you just progress normally and you go through the lake, they will just start dropping firebombs down on your head. And if you can see, the lake looks real slick and like there's like a rainbow texture. And I'm sure most of you that have cars know that when oil leaks, it looks like that in the sunlight. So this is just really oiled up and slick, meaning that we can actually burn them off really quickly with our fire. Mind you guys, you don't have to do that. You could just hit them. Right? You can just hit them. That's fine. There's another one right there. Remember, we are using the beast cutter, so we don't even have to do all that to that work, right? We don't have to do all that. Make sure, guys, when you're in here to make this nice hard, right? Grab your twin bloodstones. This is a shortcut. Voila. This isn't anywhere special. We're just back in the village again. We were at earlier. Right. This was a closed door, so you can bypass the guys that are throwing bullshit at you. Basically, you can bypass all of them. Now, if you want, you can backstab this wolf. Or this beast, man. He didn't like that. He went flying, guys. Right, and my advice is to like push your way up here. Skip those two guys, because there's gonna be some more firing at you. Give him the one. Now, it's important that you open this shortcut, and I'll tell you why. It's because you can easily die right here. Right, what was that? If you see in the distance, there's a cannon there. It does not like us being here. Your best bet is to do a mad dash right towards it. We're going to try to proc it, though. That way I have time to run. Right, now you can just run for it. And once you kill the guy manning it, you don't gotta worry about it anymore. And you can backtrack and look at all these houses and see what's in there. And there is like a thing or two in here. Keep in mind these guys are sleeping. Also, that's pretty important. Don't forget you can transform your weapon. Like, a lot of people do forget that a lot of the time, right? So, if you're in close quarters and you don't feel like, you feel like you're cramped up, just get it to a smaller form, whatever weapon you're using. Oh, we are running pretty low on blood bullets, though. I was hoping you would rush forward. I'm so sorry. Perfectly fine with this kind of weapon. As you can see, you're not in any kind of danger. This thing is just a 30 keen on steroids. I like it. I like it. It scared me for a moment. Son of a bitch. Like I said, we're just looking around. But, I thought there was some stuff in here. It doesn't look like there's much. I guess does it appear to be like, wow, that's interesting. Okay, guys, so new tip. Kinda, sort of, and not really, right? You just found this out right now. Say you're getting fired at, you panic, you can run into this house here. And then it looks like there's like a nice little passageway you can just break down. Right, and then you'll be even closer to the guy firing the cannon. And you can just rush him from here. Cool. Cool. Didn't realize that was a thing. I usually just run straight from it. And we're hitting an actual pretty important part of the game. What's this? So go slow, guys, when you get to run here. You're gonna be hearing like weird, like axe dragging sound. There's a guy there. He's slowly walking forward. This whole thing is super creepy. Sorry about the coughing in the background, guys. By the way, it's not me, as you can tell. It is the pitfalls of, I'll be honest, wasting your damn life. Right, it's the pitfalls of wasting your life. Don't have my own place, unfortunately. Someday in the future, I'll have more of a private situation, and I wouldn't want to have all this background noise to get in the way. Right, and there he goes down there. And there he will stay. So you can deal with him now, if you would like to. Which we should, and we won't just kill him outright. We'll just take a look at what he does. So this is very thematically set up, right? He slowly jerked himself. They make sure you don't see his head or anything like that. And then he just goes to a corner. He just stares. He just stares and he just stares. And he'll do that forever. Wow. And then he starts getting a big old headache. And oh my god. A bunch of snakes burst out his head. And what was he staring at? Madman's knowledge. Right, and I think it's important to note that they're just not crazy men. Right, they went crazy because of the knowledge that they obtained. Right, that's why it's called the madman's knowledge. Is they knew something or they figured something out they shouldn't have or they can't process, and it turned them mad. Right, it's not just a guy with mental health issues that is smart or something like that. Right, it's very important to know. And you could progress forward a little bit more, but we're going to take a little detour to more the top of this structure here. I'm not sure if this is a lighthouse or whatever. I can't see the top of it. I don't think it is, but We're gonna take a little detour. We're gonna drop down here. There is an enemy here, guys. There he is. If you're confident in your parry, which I'm not right now, you can simply parry him. But if not, just hit him as hard as you can. He's not too tough, right? We'll take a little look around. It overlooks the forest, right? You can see out into the vast nothingness there is. But we're coming over here because there's an important item here. Guys, don't jump off this, you'll die. Just take the view in, you can take a little look at it. I know it's a little muddy because it's PlayStation 4, but there is, there's the skull down there. There's the place leading up to it. Right, that's the Forbidden Wood still. Bergenworth, it's called, by the way. The school is called Bergenworth. Sorry, it took me a minute to remember. And we're coming over here because there are some items that we can get. I do think there's only one. But here we go. I think this is a windmill. Right where we're at. Well, you want to come over here. You want to grab this. Here's some poison knives. But more importantly, there's an item down there that you want to get. And we'll get that and then we'll come back up. I'm kind of making sure that's where you got to drop down to. And here's the cannon. here's the cannon, guys. Can't use it yet. You need 30 strength to use it. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to showcase the cannon. Basically, it's a cannon. It shoots cannonballs, guys. We'll read it just a second. Give me just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Large prototype firearms large prototype firearms fashioned by the workshop heretics, the powder kegs. Use of this weapon is equivalent to toting a mounted cannon, complete with its ridiculous weight, staggering kick, and lavish use of quicksilver bullets into battle. So the minute you use this, you use 10 quicksilver bullets, but you shoot a damn cannonball, and it blows the hell up, and it's awesome. But you use 10 quicksilver bullets, I believe. It could be 5, it could be 10. I'm pretty sure it's 10. Such a monstrosity was doomed from the start, and indeed its development was cut short. Yet against impossibly gigantic foes, it might be just the thing. This was a monster in PvP. If someone was running and you pulled this bad boy out and dusted him off, there's no way they were gonna get to heal. There was no freaking way. I don't think that's smart the man anymore. And with that said, we do have it. We could come back up. There is something else important over there that we're gonna look at. Let me grab my water. Okay, here we go. Also, guys, Friday night, I probably more than likely won't be here. I will be traveling back to New York City. So I will be on a plane around this time. And then I'll be in the airport and I gotta get a taxi home or whatever. So I most likely won't be here. It's not Friday yet, though. Right, some forewarning, guys. So I'm not sure. We might try to push to beat the game before Friday. That way, when we come back, you know, we can start working on our builds. If you guys are following along, if you're just starting Bloodborne, welcome. This game is a great game. I hope more people play it. I would like to start PvPing. I haven't PvP'd in quite some time. I know the community is still active. So when you come back across here, right, instead of dropping down, you can just take this this little passage, and there's an important NPC here. Make your way slowly over there. Now, this is going to be very odd for you guys, alright? For you guys seeing it the first time. So, I'm not even sure we could be showing all this stuff on YouTube, but there's a bunch of gore, there's a bunch of jelly on the floor, and there's a man clearly eating a what looks like could be a child, but they really zombied him up so you can't tell. But he's clearly younger and smaller than these two people. Right, and it looks like they ran up here out of pure fear, and he caught up with them.
Whoa! Blimey, don't scare me like that. On a night like this, I took you for a monster. Oh, thank the stars, you're fairly normal. You put down that awful beast.
He called us fairly normal.
Ooh, that thing had me trembling, frozen in my boots. And then you came along. Well, if you're a hunter, then would you know of any safe havens?
Now, this is extremely important, guys. This man is called, you're not going to know his name at all in this game. He's not going to tell you. This is a Reverend Izzy. And he is out his goddamn mind. If you send him, and this is important for your playthrough, if you send him to the chapel, he will start killing every single NPC in there. And in turn, he will give you beast blood pellets. And when he kills the last NPC in there, he will leave and just never come back, and everybody in that chapel will be dead, except for the cripple. I'm not sure if he's crippled or what have you. The guy in the red robes, the crippled dude. It doesn't look like he can walk or something like that, but he probably can. You know, the one that asks you to bring everybody to church. I think he'll be the only one alive, and you'll ruin everybody's like quest line if you bring him over there. So, if you care about their quest line, send them to Yosefka's clinic, and you know, he'll end up turning into Ken in there and not bothering anybody because Yosefka can deal with him properly. If you want to do either of those, you can kill him right here, which is what I usually do, and that's what we're gonna do. But we will tell him about we'll withhold the information.
Oh yeah, of course not. I should have known. This whole place is falling apart once again.
Well, act like we don't know where to send them to.
It's the curse of Yarnum.
And let's see if we can zoom in on him. He's covered in blood. As you can see, like everybody here has like a misshapen face, like something is like off to the side. He has like a crazy smirk on him. So usually the way we kill this guy, and you'll see why in a minute, is we start off with a nice backstab. Oops. Nobody saw that. Nope, nobody saw that at all. Right. We'll give him the backstab.
Have you got a screw loose? Or is it your animal intuition? You hunters have got more blood on your hands.
And this is how you cheese him, right? Important to know, he can hit you through here. He won't come in though, which is the best part. And that is a Reverend Izzy. Well, we were just checking who was going to attack us, right? That's all. And you just get your poison knives that you picked up. And you let them do their work. And that is how you kill this guy. He does have dialogue, so if you want to hear dialogue, you can engage with him. He is pretty strong. He's also what's known as a dark beast. As you can see, like he's pretty special. Like he can talk. He still like has, I don't know if you want to call it his humanity, right? But he still has his consciousness. Most people in Yarnum, once they turn into beasts, they just turn into like wolf people. Right, and this is why you don't want to get too close to this, because he can still really, he can kill you without a net. He says very interesting things too. And like I said, he can kill you through here, and if you let him, he will kill you. Be careful with his wind attacks. Extremely powerful character. Just like your poison knives do the work if you're being cautious like I am. you don't really have to worry about it too much. He will die from the poison knives. You should have more than enough to kill him. As you can see, even now he's still going hard. Throw another one at him. And he's pretty good. There's nothing you can do. There he goes. He does drop the beast rune. Let's take a look at the beast rune. Which I think is a better version of the one that we had. So 10 booster transformation, plus 20. This is plus 50. I think this is the one he had on him. A secret symbol left by Carol, the Smith of Bergenworth. A transcription of the roar of a labyrinth beast. The bearer of the beast rune has accentuated temporary transformation effects. Which means that when you pop a beast mode pellet or anything like that, it boosts it, makes it stronger. Beast is one of the early Carol runes, as well as one of the first to be deemed forbidden. The discovery of blood entailed the discovery of undesirable beasts. Now he does say some pretty important things that people like to talk about sometimes. He says he didn't ask for this, so I forget who. I wish I knew the exact like lore channels I usually listen to. I listen to a lot of Sinclair lore, and there's JSF, or Sophie as they're now called. They really talk a lot. They do talk a lot about Bloodborne, and I do think he was working with Archibald, I believe, if the lore is right, and you know, they got experimented on basically, and turned into a dark beast. They do imply that like beasts are actual base forms. Like we're just turning back, like you know how that meme Return to Monk. Like for us, Return to Monk here is Return to Beast, and we're like we are in our basic form are like these werewolf creatures or beasts, which is kind of cool. Right, if only we had our wits about us like Mr. Izzy over there, and didn't have that bloodlust because something was wrong with him. But I do think it's interesting that our actual form is like this beasted out, what, ultra hype beast, ultra werewolf. And now that he's done, you can just progress normally, right? So you can just work your way back down. You shouldn't die from this like height, but if you're a little cautious, right, you can make the 3 rolls. And don't forget to come over here. Oh wait, that's not it. We're coming close to our shortcut now, but we're not quite there yet. Like I said, guys, make sure you don't send them if you care about your quest lines. Do not send them to the chapel. He won't go in there. He'll be outside, but everybody will start dying. So you can either kill him right there, or you can send them to Yosefka's clinic. And when you go to Yosefka's clinic, he'll be all canned out, and then you can collect the beast rune there, I believe. And we'll switch up to the Kirkhammer for fun. This part, if you're not really prepared, these guys have a lot of reach to them. You can see he like shot a snake, and then they have that attack right there, which is very annoying. They do poison damage. So if you here's your shortcut. Make sure to talk to. I do think there's an NPC here that you're gonna want to talk to. Oh yeah, here we go. I do believe you need the DLC to have him here. So you need the Old Hunters DLC. Luckily, since I have it on my main account, I guess, you know, it's counting for everything.
face, are you? And an accomplished hunter, it would appear. I am Volta, master of the League. Members of the League cleanse the streets of all the filth that's spread about during the hunt. Like any half-decent hunter ought to, you know? You've seen enough of these wretched beasts, freakish slugs and mad doctors. Sentence these fiends to death with the help of your League confederates. What do you say? Why not join the League? Yes,
Sure, why not?
as a hunter well should. Commit this to heart. Our own Carol rune, symbol of the League.
Impurity.
The night brims with defiled scum and is permeated by their rotten stench. Just think, now you're all set to hunt and kill to your heart's content. Hunt in cooperation with your fellows, your League confederates.
Wow.
Now, there is one thing you must know. By the oath of the League, those who bear its rune will see vermin. Vermin writhe deep within all filth and are the root of man's impurity. All vermin are to be crushed. The League exists to expunge all vermin, ridding it of any trace of human corruption. And so, until you're rid of all vermin, you must continue to hunt and kill. This bloody fate is ours alone. Do not expect the world to grasp our work. But remember, the Confederates will always have my blessing, and each other. Always. The League exists, and so this do and
Okay, so we got our first oath rune. We do have to put it on. We don't have it yet, but oath runes, you know, they are specific to factions in the game. Equipping a lot of them give you like regular caravan certain effects. This one boosts max HP during co-op, plus 2%. A caravan that transcribes inhuman sounds. This rune, discovered inside the Forbidden Beast Theater, came to symbolize impurity and the oath of the League. Confederates of the League cooperate with hunters from other worlds and hunt to discover vermin. Vermin rive within filth and are the root of man's impurity. Crush all vermin without hesitation. And you can see the symbol, I do believe that's supposed to look like a vermin. Specifically, the vermin do look like a mix between like centipedes and earwigs. If you guys don't know what earwigs are, those are those caterpillars that are famous for like people saying they crawl in your ear and the only way out is to eat through your brain, which I don't think they do. They can get stuck in your ear and give you like a horrible ear infection, but I don't think they can necessarily eat through your whole head. I'm not sure if that's ever been documented actually. I could be wrong. Right, but you know, that's what it's supposed to look like a caterpillar, right? You can see like the head and the, oh well, more like a centipede, right? So that's like the head, and then the like little things at the top are like its antenna, and then each little dot is supposed to be like a little bug foot. That's what it's supposed to look like. And if you're doing a lot of PvP, it's good to wear. Boost your HP. Remember, it's co-op PvP though, guys. And you can open the shortcut, and this is the beginning of Forbidden Woods. There's the lantern there. And grab your extra antidotes. Remember, you can fight these NPCs and kill them. Be careful, don't start swinging around your big ass weapon. I do think we should probably level up a little bit. I think we have enough exactly for like maybe one level. But we'll do it.
Very well.
exactly one level. Okay, so I do think we should keep working on our HP, even though I think we're at an okay spot for the HP, right, for our vitality. Assuming I do want to finish like the Blood Tinged Arcane, we can just get that to 25, so we can work on huh. What do we get up there first? Maybe the Arcane. I'm trying to think of what we're going to use Blood Tinge wise. We do have the pistol still, and we do use it sometimes, right? So it wouldn't hurt to have this. We do also use the Auger. So it's more up to us what we want to use first, 25, and then we'll just focus on the Vite. We're also at a naturally high level for this. I do believe your first playthrough, you'll be done closer around to 70, level 70. If you're just like playing the game naturally and leveling up. Right, keep that in mind. So you would have like a lot of Vite already, and then you would have like your main stat buffed up.
Farewell.
So we're like unusually high for this area of the game. We'll switch to this. And then I think we're okay. We'll use the Beast Roar to get people off of us in case we're in trouble. Hopefully we can hopefully we can wrap up the Forbidden Woods today. That is the goal right now. I'm pretty sure we can, even if we take our time. The Forbidden Woods isn't too long. We'll probably just get annoyed with like some of the enemies in there, but we are using the Beast Cutter, which I got specifically so that we could be at a safer distance, right? Don't forget to use your environmental damage, right? Now, we didn't put on that rune because we're not doing any multiplayer, so that rune right now doesn't matter too much. It doesn't matter almost at all. And right now we'll just hug this wall. There's like a little jump you can make over here, so I want to do that first. This is the actual jump. My fault, guys. There we go. And you hear all kinds of nasty stuff in these woods. Be careful, guys, right? A lot of these games, it's just like monster closets and pop-ins, right? There is an enemy right here. Sometimes he's hard to notice, especially where everything is foggy as it is. Right, keep in mind your weapon. You don't really have to worry too much. There's some twin bloodstones if you're still farming for them. At this point, you should have a weapon at least +6, by the way. 1 or 2, depending on what you're working on. And then feel free to backtrack. Keep in mind you can hear like people shuffling around, dragging their feet. There's going to be these snake balls as well. If they bite you, they do start like building up a poison meter, so be careful with that. And we'll do our best to go like somewhat slow here, but we'll go out already, guys. Try to have at least 2 weapons as well, guys. I know some people are just like 1 weapon, but as you can see, like some variety does help, and try to cover up your like other weapons weakness with your backup weapon, right? So although this is slow, like my Kirk cannon, you know, provided you're locked on, you do have enough range to make up for it. Don't let them come super close and then you start swinging around and saying it doesn't work, guys, please. I don't want to hear that. Or if you're having problems, just lock on. More than likely your weapon will connect. I know some people free aim. I like to free aim a lot too, but if you start failing too hard, just start locking on. Now we are mostly safe, but we can still die very easily. Keep in mind there's a bunch of these little like snake nuts. I don't want to call them snake balls, so I'll call them like snake nuts or these snakes. So they're like roll out. They're very quiet. They will just slowly crawl up to you. Keep that in mind as well. Make sure you take these guys out. They have a really nasty grab attack. And it comes out very quickly and they will rush towards you. There's a tempering blood gemstone. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Physical attack up and add slow poison. Poison isn't the best in this game. Slow poison, at least rapid poison, is really good if you're getting a lot of hits out. We're also being very careful because we're coming up on a certain enemy that is going to be difficult to deal with. And there he is. It's a giant snake nut. You can see he has like weird scales, right? Those aren't scales. Those are also vermin. Those are ticks on him. A lot of ticks. And they're gorging out on his below. Use the environment to your advantage. You can also go in and get a lot of hits out on him real quick. But he's covered in ticks, but that's another kind of vermin in this game. Thank God those ticks don't fall off and start running around, because I would be horrified. So they'll stay on his body. And there's your clear deep sea run. Remember, it's around this big snake area, so big snake there, you go behind this. That's your run. No, you can't drop down here. Don't do that. And we could take a look at this rune actually, now that we're kind of safe. The deep sea rune, right? Clear deep sea. It increases slow poison resistance. We'll skip the top part. This transcription of the Great Ones in human voices depicts downreaching currents. This rune means deep sea and grants augmented resistance. Great volumes of water serve as a bulwark, guarding sleep, and an augur of the Aldrich truth. Overcome this hindrance and seek what is yours. I guess that whole thing right there depicts an ocean and the line is like going down deeper into it. That's something I could think of when I look at it. And be mindful of your surroundings here. It's easy to get lost in a lot of these areas because a lot of it, thanks to the graphics, looks very much the same. Like very samey look, like everything's copy-pasted together. And you can hear like a lot of, we could call it slithering, I guess, right? A lot of slithering sounds, so be careful with that. Here's the grab attack. Okay, so they did a crap ton of damage. So we're just going to back up. Thankfully the poison is actually pretty slow. Right, thankfully the poison is pretty slow. I was trying to switch to this. So you don't gotta worry too much unless they grab you again, which they can do. And that is the good part. We actually did parry him right there, guys. Take advantage of your range. And I guess it would be smart to put it on my quick menu. Okay. In retrospect, I should have used a lot of attacks since we died 3 of them. Like I said, pay attention to the surroundings, right? Look down there. That is not just one of them, those 2 of them together. We'll see what they were guarding. Looks like they're dropping a lot of templings, gemstones. They're dropping... Oh, well, you're finding bloodstone chunks, so you can start working on your weapon, getting it even higher than +6. It wouldn't hurt to also, if you have your arcane build built up, to have your... Assuming you went to Cane Earth and grab some other stuff, have your executioner gloves, right, to have some nice ranged options. I don't think my arcane is going to do too much damage to them, so that's why we're not using it. Now, you can come over there and see what they're holding on to. That is up to you. They do spit poison, by the way. So just be careful like that. You can see I'm not really stunning them too much. So just be careful. I do believe a lot of these add like slow poison. There's the deep sea rune. Adds frenzy resistance. This rune means deep sea and grants automatic resistance. Great volumes of water, blah blah blah. Almost the same as the clear deep sea. If you're patient, guys, and you're taking your time, you can use like the HP regen here, right? And you can pop some blood bullets and like let your HP regen slowly. Not quite yet though. Let's take care of the days. I'm also not sure if charging up this attack will do any more damage than usual. It seems like I'm not really stunning the enemy at all, so not really, right? So just try to have good range. Don't be afraid to fight, guys, right? You're gonna have to fight enemies at some point. There it is, just water forever and ever. We're just looking around right now, guys. That's all we're doing. We can drop down there, and we will in a second. You actually need to drop down there to be able to open that gate, I believe. Oh, there's a couple ways we could go, actually. A couple, but let's, since we're right here, let's do this one. I do believe it was down here, right? I do think you need this item, whatever that is over there. Keep in mind, once you get close, this guy's gonna start freaking out. Clockwise metamorphosis. I do believe that's the HP up rune. It's a pretty important rune, I believe, if this is the HP up one. Boost max HP, 5%. This is like the most base one. If you don't have any other one that boosts your HP, make sure you put this one on. The Twisted Cross means metamorphosis. Rotate it clockwise. This rune boosts HP. The discovery of blood made their dream of evolution a reality. Metamorphosis and the excesses and deviation that followed were only the beginning. So it's a Twisted Cross. And like I said, oh, it doesn't open from this side. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I guess we'll come out this way. Keep in mind, if you drop down, there's going to be a big old snake at the bottom. Maybe we could deal them like this. I might die here, guys. No? Okay. Cool. And they're dropping a lot of murky blood gemstones. Let's take a look at them. Slow poison, charge attacks up. Slow poison, reduces stamina cost. Slow poison adds physical attack, not bad. They're okay. You can see we're roughly in the same spot. Oh no. Roughly. Oh crap, he caught me. If they catch you, they'll whistle, and that whistle basically just summons a bunch of snakes. You can see we're charging up from his grab. And you really don't want to do it. I think one of the snakes got caught on a fire because there's an HP bar going down. We'll let him roast himself. There he goes. And the reason we're not moving is because I came here a pig. And there he is. And he wasn't in front of anything important, honestly. There's another one. Every time he whistles, more snakes will come out. So keep in mind also, if you're using this beast cutter transform, its heavy attack is going to be overhead, always. And its light attack is going to be vertical. Horizontal? One of those. Let's go back up. We have some stuff we need to grab still before we go down there, so... Hello. I didn't even realize that was alive. Oh crap. Okay. You do gotta pay a little bit more attention because, like I said, everything does look seamy here. If you drop down here, guys, you won't be able to go back up, so be careful. We're kind of trying to follow a little bit of a path here. I do believe it's right here. You can make this jump. You can hear some weird sounds going on down there. It's important to make this jump, by the way, because there is an armor set here that you might want to grab. At least part of it. And that's the Graveguard set. We'll grab the rest of it, which I think is right there. But I'm just going to make sure I'm not being followed. Okay, we're good. Okay. I don't think there's anywhere else we can go from here, so let's grab this. There's the rest of the Graveguard stuff. We could take a look at it now. Robe of Doris, Graveguard of the Forbidden Woods. Countless bloodied ritual tools hang from its back. Willem kept 2 loyal servants back at Bergenworth. When they were sent into the labyrinth, they encountered the Ultra's truth and went bad. One became the password gatekeeper, while Doris became a Graveguard of the forest. Both remained loyal, even to madness. Now, the other guy we came across, he was the one asking for the password, and for some reason he was dead, but he was still able to open the door for us. But you can hear him like weeping and talking about closing the door, getting bitten. I think getting bitten is what put him in a frenzy. They went down into the labyrinth, much like Lawrence did. Lawrence went down to the labyrinth, and they went insane. And we're never going to see this person in particular, but we will see their garb. And if you're doing a Scream cosplay, you can use the helmet. If you're doing like Ghostface. Right, there's some machettes there. I do think they just have like some simple foot wraps. There's a kilt. And there's the mask. And that's the Graveguard set right there. We'll wear it for now, because we're here. Very horrific mask. It's supposed to look like a Dumerian. Right, Dumerians do come up from the Chalice Dungeon from time to time. That's how come these people in the church have them as slaves. They do venture up sometimes. There's a lot of lore there if you go down into the Chalice Dungeons and look around. A lot of stuff has been going on down there. It's never implied, really. You kind of got to piece it together. But this person made it, and, you know, this isn't an actual Dumerian face. It's made to look like a Dumerian. And I think it's basically to scare everybody off that will come in here. And that's what's down here, guys. Like I said, you want to make sure you make that jump because you want the mask. They separated the mask because I guess it's a cool looking item. So you want to make that little jump to make sure you get it. That's the only way you can get to it is if you make that jump. Oh, guys, also, I did level up something else if you guys want to see it. I'm not sure how much damage it's going to do, but we did level up the Whirligig to +6. Because it is a really good weapon for PvE. I do not have any gems on it, so it might suffer a little bit, but we can test it out. We can test it out for a little while. We'll just continue on like normal. I guess when we get close to the boss, we can backtrack a little bit and have another look around. I know this could be very confusing, guys. Like, it all does really look the same to me. There's a pig over there. The only reason you really got to be careful with these pigs is because they can bum rush you, and they just drain a bunch of HP when they do that. So I'm kind of taking my time when I fight these guys. Alright, and you can, let me see what he does. Is he going to go belly flop? No, belly flop? Porky? Porky? No? Let me know if it's too loud for you guys, right? Because I know some of these enemies are very loud. So just let me know. Like I said, we're just looking around. I do think we can open the gate up from around here. I'm just checking. No, this is where we came from. Okay. And be cautious here because I do think there are 2 more pigs walking around. As well as some extra enemies around here. We're just being careful for now. Also remember there is no map, so you really can't do anything for it about this. Do you hear that? Hear that sound, guys? you haven't gone to the Esophagus Clinic, this is your first kin enemy. He is aggressive. You can see there's another couple kin right there, but we're just going to take a little look around before we progress forward. We're actually going a little bit backwards, right? You can drop down there from the other side. So we're kind of just looking around. The reason we're not really dealing with them like right away is because they have some attacks that you gotta be careful. Especially these guys right here, with all their little antennae. You see they have some arcane attacks that they miss. If they hug like this way, right? You can just do that to them. There's anti-clockwise metamorphosis, perfect. Let's take a look at that one. Boost max stamina. So if you're not invested too much in it, like with your regular stats, you can easily pop these in. This is a pretty decent one, it's plus 10%. The Twisted Cross means metamorphosis. Rotated anti-clockwise, this rune boosts stamina. You know, and then it has the basic stuff there. And we can go back a little bit just to see what was there. So if we just drop down, we would be around here-ish. You know, from the other side of the map. And all you could do is basically progress forward. You can see this weapon is really strong, that's why I don't want to use it for right now. So we'll take it off. It might be a little too good. Like even with no gems in there, it just rips enemies to shreds. We can actually pop those runes in once we go back to the Hunter's Dream. And yeah, we're basically back the way we came. Right, we came from around here-ish. Right there was like the little stream where the pig was walking through. This is where we dropped down to get the Graveguard set. Right, so we just basically backtracked a little bit. We went into there. No, I do think there's a shortcut around here somewhere. I feel like I'm pretty close to it. I think this is it. Here's the shortcut. There's really nothing back up there, so you can just like activate the ladder. It'll put us back at around the windmill area, where we saw the first snake man where his head popped open. Right to the right was a little passageway. So if you die, you can just come back pretty quickly through here. And then there's really not much else to go through, right? I think it's this way. Oh, this is where we came from, huh? Let's make sure. This is where the kin was at? Yeah, okay. So, it is easy to get a little mixed up here. Do I have my torch on? Okay, I do. My hand lantern, rather. I do appreciate the fact that they made this hand lantern. I was remember getting stuck is because we have this big ass weapon in our hands. There's dissipating lake. We will look at that in a minute. You gotta push forward a little bit though. Mostly because I know there's a pig coming up. Okay. So we picked up the dissipating lake rune. I do think we're mostly okay, but let's just clear it up and take a look at Swamp Gemstone. And there might have been an item back over here. Let's just make sure that we don't miss anything. I think we're mostly okay. So let's seems like we're safe here mostly, so let's take a look at dissipating lake. Boost bolt damage reduction. I feel like we got this before. Right, this is just a better version. No, we got lake. Great volumes of water serve as a bulwark. I think we've read this one before for the most part. But it boosts bolt damage reduction. I do think that's where the pig died, right? He dropped some blood vials, probably. There we go. This right here is the boss room. Crap. I should have put on one of the runes. When you have a certain rune on, you can summon some NPCs. We might actually need to do that to get one of the vermin. I can't believe I didn't do that. That's my fault. Man. I honestly don't know if I want to bother going all the way back. I don't think I do. If you did, guys, there would be an NPC here to summon. If you had the Impurity rune on, there would be like a Confederate around here. That's what they're called, guys. Don't blame me. They're called Confederates. And you could summon him to help you fight, and once he helps you with the boss fight. Excuse me, 1 second. Once he helps you with the boss fight, guys, basically you would get one vermin. I guess we won't be doing that. It's not the end of the world. If you guys wanted to, you could just co-op with people and get vermin real quickly. With that being said, with the state of the game now, like it's an old game, I'm not sure how quickly you would get that. You have to take that into account as well, actually. So take that for what it's worth. The boss is right here. Once I walk through this door, we will be fighting the boss. The question is what I want to fight him with. We also got the Beast Hunter Scythe to +6, by the way, guys. We got a lot of weapons to +6. We can take a little look at the Beast Hunter Scythe if you guys forgot what it was. This is this transforming mode. This is it untransformed.